It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego political, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar, just they get it higher power. Over naira. See them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Political, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary political, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This man not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary, diary political. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
I've actually missed that as part of our opening. So, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. Right. So thank you so much for joining me. And mind you, I know I have not really been very consistent or been around in the recent times, right? But let us kind of like enjoy the few moments we still have to share together, okay? So thanks so much for joining me, right? Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them to join us. Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. And I have actually come with loads of catch-ups. So I hope the time is going to be enough for us. So I'm just going to go through it like sharp. All right, not too much talk. And see if we can also take calls, you know, where the contributors, you can phone in and have your own, have your own opinion shared as well, okay? So we are starting with the latest from Koolu, who was actually hosting the delegation of Plateau State politicians led by their governor, Twang, right? You remember that Plateau State has been under these immense repeated attacks, killings from one community to the other, from one local government to the other, right? And the most recent event is that of the people killed in Bakin Ladi and other areas. Their call went, by the way, after a few days, people's complaining and lamenting, like, condemning him for not really caring, like showing the usual nonchalant attitude, right? So he eventually visited, but more or less like he brought the victims. They brought the victims to the airport to come and see him. And that also generated its own like backlashes, right? So their governor was with Koolu today, and Koolu was practically talking about how he's kind of protected Nigeria, how people are not really appreciating him enough. But it's okay, he is not doing the job because he wanted to be praised. Moreover, right, the people of the Plateau State, as it currently kind of like a standard, right? So they are very much grateful for what he's done. I mean, praising himself. Then he also mentioned, like, about his economy to start with. He said, his economic policies, right, kind of like ending enough, like, love, respect, blah, blah, blah. Then the insecurity, which is main thing that brought these guys to, or took the guys to him. So he said, well, he is happy that those who came from Plateau State praised him and what he has done to protect them. That and all of this is simply because he's a stubborn politician, because his enemies, they want to use insecurity to get rid of him. But he is a stubborn politician that refused to go. It doesn't really make any sense by all context. Okay, but it's called. So that then is what has triggered the social media reactions and many other reactions, okay? But I am going to give you the full gist, or let me say the full speech. But let us pick the snippet, which is the rider for this chat this evening, right? So when Koolu met with the former governors of Plateau, the current governor of Plateau State, he had these words.
If we have to borrow money, we borrow. It's not borrowing is not a leprosy. We just have to work hard to be able to pay for it. You are playing to the hand of agents, including my own enemies, who want to use insecurity to get rid of me. I'm a very stubborn politician. I just refuse to go. And I will campaign for my second term. I will work hard.
nuisance lele.
That because see, this is the season, politics, like a decision for politics. This is his own kind of like a tough. To him, they cannot outplay him politically. A lot of people are asking, how come he's not applying the same strategy to governance? He's been the most abysmal, the most, wretched kind of a government you've ever come across. And then the propaganda, the gaslighting is next level, right? But here is what those guys who traveled from Plateau State actually told him before he started making those speeches, okay? Borrowing is not leprosy. What does that even mean? But here, Muftwang and other court jesters, ass lickers, praise singers that visited him today.
We've started a journey. The coming together of the former governors has never happened before. This is the first time it is happening. And I believe that that is a step that we can build upon. And God willing, since we've closed the political space, I'm sure some of the issues that have been politicized have been narrowed out, and we will be able to move together as brothers and ensure that we achieve a common goal for the benefit of our people and the nation. Once again, thank you, Mr. President.
We have agreed that we are going around all the communities, beginning from the center in Jos, and we will extend to the entire state to pass across the message of unity, peace, and oneness, and will also carry along our fathers of faith and also our traditional rulers who are our fathers to also share with us how that they used to live together, how that they used to share things together in oneness and in unity.
We must celebrate the future of Plateau. All we need is the support of the leaders to work together and change the narratives of hatred, the narrative of weaponization of religion, the narrative of division, and together we pool our strength and resources that Plateau is the epicenter of growth and development of Nigeria, and it is there to take its rightful place with the support of Mr. President and with the support of our great leaders that are here, that we are committed to working in the field, to engage our youth, to change the mindset, to bring about togetherness and collaboration, and together to tell the world that Plateau is not for violence, Plateau is not for conflict, Plateau is the home of peace and tourism, as it is the center for Nigerian growth and development. So that is the Plateau we want to see, and that is the commitment we are saying we have made to ourselves, to support our leaders, to support you, so that the renewed hope agenda of making Nigeria, starting from Plateau, a peaceful, prosperous, stable country will be achieved within your tenure. Thank you.
To those of you who have been asking to see the faces of those who usually claps for Koolu, and you've seen their faces, by the way. So yeah, they have made the killings in Plateau State, as well as the killings in the middle belt part of Nigeria. APC, Egbekegbe, have succeeded in making it look like it is communal clashes, or farmers' others clashes, or clashes caused by rhetorics, hateful rhetorics, the blah, the blah. They are actually missing the point, and it is all intentional, okay? The Fulani terrorists, I mean, the victims who have come out have repeatedly told the world, those who came to ransack their villages, invaded them, and killed their loved ones. And they are no other than the Fulani terrorists. So how do you make peace with the terrorists who are on a mission, well-funded, mostly protected by states, right? And then the media too, where the media narrative has been so skewed that the truth, right, has almost become non-existent, sort of. Then the government is riding on that same narrative. The state governor or the state politicians knows where clashes that were communal clashes, people fighting themselves and all that. But it is different from villages, communities being repeatedly attacked, right? I mean, by a faction, or a section of the supposed state, the Fulani terrorists who migrate from the hills, and once they carry out all these killings and attacks, they go back onto the hills, like straight up, just like that. They do not expect anybody to come after them, not even the government. The government, from the federal to states, they are pushing a narrative that maybe if they begin to preach peace, if they begin to talk nicely, if they try to, maybe that would then end the killings. So do you see why it's not going away? Now here is what Koolu told them in a language. Tell me when you want me to take it off. I say, remove this man, and I will. But please, listen first.
Leaders will go back home. And summon the leadership meeting. Pretend that I'm there. Or pretend that I'm absent. Because you are still going to give me a feedback. You are going to work as a one group committee. Thank God all the previous governors, former governors are alive, and you are here. Thank you for the respect. And call one another. Ignore the governors' committee if you have to, or you incorporate them. Take that white paper or the Gazette that you have. Go through it among yourselves. And agree to implement those white papers. Any naughty issue, bring it back. Now, to the legislators who are here, we are going to work together to establish state police. On a national scale. And I believe once we have a state police, enforcement of laws and others will take care of some of these problems. For us to stop creating widows, widowers, orphans, there must be peace. I've had His Royal Majesty mentioning some roads and all that, and the question of the airport and the developments that are necessary to be embarked upon by the federal government. We do that. That's no problem. It is very tough to develop if you don't have a peace. And then we, as the president, order you to go back home of Abuja. You have been appointed as the committee for peace. Go and search for it, look for it, resolve any additional steps that you want the government to take. And if you identify and you know the name of troublemakers, agent provocateurs, who want to continue killing or instigate killing, let us know. We use the instrument of office to deal with them. The path is to work with you, find a lasting peace to the problem, so that you can develop and bring prosperity to the people together. It is crucial. And it's in your hand now, Mr. Governor. Lead your people back home. Lead your people to them. Forget those committees you mentioned to me. If it's not working, it's not working. Consider this group as the committee until you find a lasting solution. If the ones that you have chosen before, now you have to mix it and amend membership, you have to recruit more from non-indigenous into your government. If we have to find money to develop jingles and campaign tones that will eliminate discrimination and conflict and killings, we can develop it together and get on the radio. You know, listen to the youth. Listen to what they've said. Use them. We work with.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè.
àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú. ó jọ ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò mọ́ rárá.
You need to be honest with me, right? You need to be honest with me. Could you make any sense out of what he's saying at all? Okay, let me kind of try to break it down so that you probably can understand how effed up Nigeria is. And I don't know how long the whole charade will last. Anyway, but let me give you the context. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people have been killed in Plateau State alone in the last 4 months. It got so bad, right, that a lot of people, I mean, worldwide, actually were pretty much like surprised, right, that the killings in Nigeria and this part of Nigeria continues unabated. In fact, skyrocketed, kind of like increased astronomically from last year, December, up to now. And it is the same message, the message of, oh, we will find the killers and the blah, blah, blah. What is the federal government doing? What is Tinubu doing? This is the question, right? What is it doing? But now, take a look at it this way. The armed forces of Nigeria, which Tinubu is the grand commander of the armed forces. What do you call him again? GCFR. Meaning he has all the tools, the resources to clamp down on any kind of act of criminality, terrorism in any part of Nigeria if he will use his political will to do that. But to Tinubu, everything is politics, committees, appointments. And that is why they are seeing the problem from the prism of misunderstandings, clashes between the Muslims and the Christians who are fighting over the political control of the state. So therefore, watering down the atrocities of the terrorism being perpetrated by these Fulani terrorists for over a decade now. Watering it down enough that, oh, you know what, maybe you should go back home. Now, it is no longer his responsibility. That's exactly the video you watched. Though. It is not my responsibility per se. You guys should talk to yourselves, okay? If you have to give appointment to some externals, non-indigenous in your government to make them feel like at peace, maybe you should do that. Or if you have to appoint committees, all right? Everybody here should be part of that committee and they'll give them money. So maybe if everybody gets something, a share from the cookie jar of that state to them, that will reduce the terrorism. Nigeria no get chance, and I'm not kidding. Because of course, the next 1 year, or should I say the next 1 year is going to be about politics. And to Koolu, his own ministers or his own political appointees, including his own supporters, have said the reasons why the insecurity is increasing in Nigeria is because of second term of Koolu. And he just said it there. I'm going to contest for myself. I'm going to campaign for my second term. On what? On the fact that, oh yeah, you see, yeah, Nigeria is not safe. But guess what? It's not my fault. My enemies are the ones who wanted to remove me or get rid of me using insecurity. But you are the you are the GCFR, the Grand Commander of the Armed Forces, Abi, the one that has what it takes to track down everyone involved in the terrorism in Nigeria. In fact, they actually have all the data. The sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria, who have not been arrested or tried, jailed for their crimes, they are those who you are calling your enemies. Like they are so powerful that the DSS that can track every Nigerian posting anything on social media and like criticizing Tinubu in such a way that they could actually track them down in hours. Even if you are using an anonymous kind of like a profile on social media, they will track you down. And yet, the GCF, or the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is unable to save his own people from murderous terrorists, because to him, maybe it is not terrorism. It is actually maybe just political disagreements from the federal government of Nigeria. So if you see people from every part of Nigeria currently suffering this indignation, this terrorism, right, in any part of Nigeria, when the politicians come to you and say they are joining the center so that they can be part of the APC, in order to benefit from the renewed hope agenda. So what is renewed hope agenda? If you people rejected APC in 2023, and then those you voted for, because you rejected APC and terrorism, they ended up joining the APC because according to them, that is likely what will guarantee your protection. And it's not working. So I don't know what they're going to come and tell you this time. But to them, it doesn't really matter. Because it seems like they are the only party that doesn't have any kind of like internal problems, no factions, no court cases challenging whatever is been done by Koolu and his men in APC. Every other political party, they are running into one skirmish to another, from one skirmish to another. You know what I mean? Different factions are springing up from all these supposed smaller parties, including the one called the coalition party. A lot happening. But to the APC, right now, they are the only party, I think, selling the interest form to their members. Paleke, the guy who wanted to be governor of Kogi State before Yeye Bello managed to, he led the Tinubu's team to the APC, to pick up Tinubu's 100 million naira presidential interest form. And so the others too. But let me take you to their secretariats, where they are all picking up 100 million, 50 million, 100 million for governor. For 50 million for governor, 30 million, 25 million for Senate and all that. So they are selling billions of naira worth of funds as we speak in the midst of all of this. Like APC is actually getting ready for elections to come and face Nigerians and say, listen, We have done so well, so great, and we want to continue. Abi, here, APC Secretariat, where they are picking up their phones. The last guy. That is the guy that wants to challenge Koolu. His own form is 100 million naira, presidential form. So now APC have sold 2 presidential forms, one for Tinubu and one for that other guy from Edo State. So still very much with APC, by the way. In Lagos State, they have allowed Socio-political to announce his own successor. And it's going to be the lizard, which is Amzat, his own deputy. Yeah. So he has been announced as the consensus candidate for the APC. That will be the guy that will then succeed Socio-political in Lagos. They took him to Abuja today. But prior to that, Socio-political announced him. Then there's another body called the GAC, Governor Advisory, I've been a Government Advisory Council. These are the group of old men that Tinubu kind of like gave that power to continue to decide who becomes next governor. But it's kind of like a proxy, okay? So instead of everybody saying Tinubu chose the next governor, no, those old men will be the ones to say, they will just say it through them, and they will be the ones to now announce it. And boy, if they are opposed to it, then it's not going to happen. Anyway, Sanwo-Iku telling Lagosians who is going to be the next governor after him. Put it that way. Yeah.
Sound mind, peace of mind, peace in your family, among your children, among your wife, your spouse, everybody will be unto you. That which you require, God will provide it for you. Renewed strength. Because I know that even being deputy governor will stretch you, but renewed strength, God Almighty will make it available for you. I want to thank you all very much.
Obafemi, Amzat. And then the GAC guys, they call them GAC, Governor Advisory Council Committee, whatever. So here is them doing their own part publicly with the same as Sanwo-Iku and his deputy.
We have adopted, we have all agreed that Alhaji Dr. Olufemi Hamzat, the current deputy governor of our country, of our state, is the consensus candidate, of our party. And we have all pledged to stand by him. That is the information. Thank you, and God bless.
Gentlemen of the press, thank you. Additional information is that all of my leaders and my fathers here, they've all taxed themselves that they are going to fund the nomination form, whatever the amount is, for Mr. Deputy, who is our consensus candidate. They've all levied themselves, and they said that they are the ones going to buy him the form for his nomination. So we needed to mention that they've all levied themselves, even from their savings as retirees. Yes. Thank you very much, gentlemen of the press.
We have adopted.
Now to on far. Ma okuta to wa nbe ma yoku nbe. Ma sabi bata ban sa ewa.
Yes, Sanwo-Iku. See us in the bobos. You see all those old men. Yeah, they claim that they are the most powerful political body of APC in Lagos. Now those old men, I don't want to go on about them. They are like they were never that old, okay? But they've been with Tinubu for the past 26 years, and yeah. So there are those who are going to now buy the 50 million naira interest form for that. So talking about consensus. Consensus is not really going well everywhere for APC yet. In Ogun State, they announced, before I even go to Ogun State, even Lagos State, there are still those who says, well, if those elders claim that they are doing consensus, like this guy and another guy, you remember this Jandor? This is Jandor. He wants to be governor of Lagos State, and he's been trying for a while. He's Tinubu's boy. Then he left APC for PDP in 2023, and he was their governorship candidate. So when they played him according to him, right, he had to go back to APC. And then he's been trying to be a lawyer boy again to Tinubu. And in fact, he actually told some people that Tinubu told him to come back to APC. That was going to be the candidate, whatever that means, right? But right now, there's another guy in APC. I think there are about two of them as well. who have also decided to go and buy their own forms without listening to the to GAC. Others are saying no, they're just kind of like contributing to the to the APC's donation pot. All this idea of them buying forms and all of that is just so, it's kind of like money laundering. Okay, just put the money in, claim the money. Somehow, you're not going to get anything like that. They're going to give it to somebody else. And obviously, you're just doing that to say, well, you know what? I know you won't give me, but just remember me your kingdom. In Ogun State, where the dubious doctor, the current governor, also has aligned with the Tinubu's agenda of making Yayi. You know Yayi? I'll show you. So this is the guy called Yayi. So they followed him to Abuja today. In fact, can you see Dangote? Yeah, that is the quota system billionaire of Nigeria is playing politics full-time, Baba. So that's why when we talk about establishment, a lot of you things, the establishment is just the politicians. How naive. The establishment comprises of those that are supposedly being in charge of your economy, in charge of your security, in charge of your healthcare, in charge of your education, those who draft your curriculum, who drafted your syllabus, right? For the term, the religious bodies, yes, all those bishops, all those pastorpreneurs, you get what I mean? And then even though those babalawos, mamalawos, unkulawos, and the rest of them, they are one way or the other part of the establishment, and that is why it is almost impossible to bury an establishment in a country like Nigeria. It's like a hydra-headed. It's so many, they're tangled. So yeah, the quota system billionaire himself followed them. So dubious Dagbo on the right. Yayi, I haven't given him Yemi, and I haven't given him a name yet. Okay, so we'll call him Yayi for now. Then you have Dangote, and then this unknown person on the right. So they went to go and pick different, because that guy, that short guy, is the consensus candidate. So everyone else who has dream of becoming governor under APC, Egbekegbe, right, in Ogun State or elsewhere, once they pick a consensus, you just have to look away or go and pick something else. Go and dream something else. You can't dream that again. Well, usually in Nigeria, when the state governors, after spending 8 years mismanaging their own state, looting their states to till, right? They usually go back to the National Assembly in Abuja to retire, of course, as lawmakers. They don't make laws. They're like that Akpabiole. After all he did, 100, well, people have stolen worse now. 107 billion naira looted as the Akwa Ibom state governor is compensated. After being a senator, he retired there. So dubious Dagbo is planning to go and retire in Abuja. There is a problem, or a suspected problem. The current holder is, his name is Bewiri Daniel. That's what I call him, okay? Benga Daniel. He is also a former governor. He's representing the same senatorial district as this guy, the first guy in blue. You see that guy in Kampala, blue? Yeah, this one. No. The other one. The one at the hair. Right, so that guy first on my right, so to say. So he wants to go to the Senate and replace this one, who is currently there, and hoping to go back in 2027 as a former governor and the current senator. So this one on the right there is asking him to forget it. I'm showing you Benga Daniel because Benga Daniel is not forgetting it. He decided to still go and pick his form in order to challenge his state's governor. This is what dubious Dagbo had to say about that.
You know, I was here when Governor Amusu became governor. I was here when Governor Daniel was governor. I actually ran against Governor Daniel then. As soon as he emerged in his primaries, I was one of the first to congratulate him. And I gave him all my structure I delivered to him and I supported him. You know, and we know what we've done for each other over the years. I know what my relationship with Daniel was when I assumed office, you know, and how I held his hand to ensure that he was integrated back into the party. You know, and these are facts. These are facts. I know what I did for Governor Daniel to become a senator. I've never said this publicly. And I'm saying it now. I know what I did for him to emerge as senator. You know, Chairman is here. Senator Mustafa, they are here. They were the front runners in that election. You know, I know what my intervention was to get them to step down for him to emerge as senator. We entrusted it to him. If Governor Daniel now believes that the only way to repay me is to be sponsoring negative media attacks against me, I leave him to his conscience.
Look at that. So Benga was shut out of a senatorial district meeting where Dakpo was endorsed as their consensus senatorial candidate. And Benga was like, I go again, work and free away shake do. I go Kotiani Lama Pibawafa. That means without the demise or the death of Ekiri, you cannot use his skin to make a Bedu drum. You know that bigger drum like that. So it's practically just saying that they can't shave his own head in his absence. They cannot remove him or lock him out of the position that he feels is entitled to, and he's done nothing wrong other than somebody else wanted it. And since it is going to be consensus, so he just have to like let go. And that is from Ogun State. Okay, so Benga is not letting go. And I kind of understand. So in Abuja court yesterday, where Shore, you know, Shore is always in court anyway, right? If it's not for himself, it's there for somebody else and all that. So something happened. The former Attorney General of Nigeria, that is Abubakar Malamu, right, was also there to, I think, attend to his own corruption case, as well as the terrorism charges. Mind you, they've dropped the terrorism charges against Malamu. Now it is about corruption and then shielding terrorist sponsors using his office. That's the charges against him now, right? Then he ran into Shore. And of course, Shore won't miss such opportunity. You've seen this video. This is Shore. And the other guy in suit wanted not only to be jailed, in fact, he wanted him to be killed. Yeah, when Malamu was the Minister of Injustice in Nigeria, he arrested Shore, charged him for treason. Do you know the punishment for treason? Death. If you are found guilty of treason, you'll be sentenced to death. So this Malamu abused his office, abused his power, because he felt like he was president or something. Buhari was long gone dead. So the whole country was battling with, was that Buhari, was that Jibri? They were using the state apparatus and all that too, okay, to track down any voice that by any means encourages Nigerians to ask questions or even take on the government. So, see, sometimes they say life is unscripted. Others say maybe life is actually scripted, that we are just here to play our role. Whatever happens, right? It's all been written. I don't know. But here is a man that felt on top of the world like this and saw this other guy like this as like an irritant, a troublemaker, somebody who has no, you know what I mean? Then the table turned, only for that man to find himself almost like at the rung of at the bottom of the barrel now, scraping for whatever he could actually grab just to save himself legally. In the hands of his friends, by the way, like they didn't lose power as politicians, as a political party, right? They just kind of like changed guard. And today, Malamu received this from Shore. I don't know if it's an encouragement, if it's a motivation, right? But it happened. Yeah, watch it.
you can greet him, but you're blocking me.
To be persecuted. When you did for Babangida Buhari that time, so we're recommending treason. You system with you now. Are you making una get cap we will give out. Teachers all the time. Let's give her. Give you a response now. No, we want to recruit you. Now what you don't know say there is failure in the system. Well, the system is dealing with you now. No. I won't give you my cap. This is the revolutionary cap.
I have my own cap.
Okay. But at least I'm glad that you are strong. Yes. You see those days when I
can never be down as far as Nigeria is concerned.
When I come court, we are telling them and say, this thing will end in disgrace. Yes. You see, we are now all on the same side.
Even your oppressors suppressing him now.
Yes.
Tomorrow they will still.
But the table has its own way of life.
But are you out of prison now? You go from home. But I know they see you for ADC anymore. They say maybe not talk.
No. I had been attending. I am telling you. Okay. Only that I couldn't attend the Ibadan summit. But then when I have some other court matters that I had to attend to. Yeah, but I will keep attending. Yeah. And I remain strong. And
no, that's why I called you now.
You want me to be part of the
even now,
association,
even yourself.
I will establish mine. As far as the Nigeria project is concerned, we have.
That's why we're telling you when people were with Buhari, say this is our country. Yes, that no matter how powerful you people are, we will not. We will never succumb. We will be powerful. Yes, and we are resolute till tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you have gone through your own vicissitudes of life.
Yes. The table keeps turning and we'll keep sitting back.
At least your own table don't turn now, turn our side. We are together now.
Life. And there is something about Nigerian politicians, okay? They are like these greedy flies, okay? That follow the cops into the grave. Or that very much a greedy fly, right? That is tasting your beer with you, but got drunk inside your beer. That you don't even have to, you know, when you are drinking beer, right? And then you have all these flies that are coming on and you don't have this cover on, okay? And they're just there sipping the bubble of your beer. Then suddenly it's drunk. And then, boom. Initially, you're trying to be like, get away. And so suddenly it's drunk. That's mostly the attitude of Nigerian politicians. They learn nothing. They know nothing. They believe in nothing. And that is why they always ended with nothing. And I'm not talking about what the self-aggrandizement or the one they always enrich themselves, which is mostly like vanity, unfortunately. Nigeria is the only country where I have seen crony capitalism at its worst. If they talk about the capitalism in America, they will tell you America is a capitalist country. It's all these rich people. America is a place where you could put one or two together, right? And then you become so rich enough that you don't really have to give a damn from the common Joe. But no, billionaires in America create jobs. They invest in researches, educational researches, scientific researches. They invest, they put money in trust, whereby funds to support educational advancement, researches. They create jobs. Nigeria billionaires don't create shit. They take. That's what they do. They take and take and take and take and take. And the men they are taking, they feel like they are just like everything. Men of yesterday. Take a look at them and their track records, and you get what I'm talking about. Okay? They learn nothing. They know nothing. They believe nothing. And they always end up with nothing. No real record. No nothing to actually really say they helped or make the country better than they met the country. No. And then when the table turned, then you see them at their most somber, kind of like mood. Suddenly they are like ordinary people. They are ordinary citizens. And Nigerians, of course, people who are like emotional wrecks. They will just say, I mean, let's just forgive him. At least he's now on our side. He's now supporting the people. He joined the protest. Oh, he was there to speak and criticize this government. Blah, blah, blah. Same old. Just the same script. And now talking about a script, okay? I don't know who is writing the script of what all going on inside the ADC, but I tracked it back to 2022. There's a crack. And unfortunately for these coalition guys, they didn't notice, or maybe they just didn't care because it's Nigeria. And then, yeah, I'm using maybe right now, like in the third person or in the third phrase, right? APC agents saw the crack, widened it by funding all of these characters who are now very much hell-bent in killing their coalition dreams. I mean, they have God knows how many court cases. And just today, even though they were waiting for the Supreme Court to deliver a judgment soon and tell them who is authentic ADC executives, David Mark, Balana Few. Oh, another guy who just got a judgment today that the INEC shouldn't recognize any of the state congresses conducted by the David Mark-led committee or executives. That simply means that there is more trouble. Now, listen to the guy who just declared himself as the chairman. He's actually so confused. That's why I said I don't know who is writing the entire script of what is playing out. It's quite absurd and tells one story. The state of Nigeria democracy. I have told you, you have no democracy. What you've got is called the pseudo-democracy. The pretense. Something that makes you pretend like you have a democracy, right? More than 80% of you don't even believe in your elections. Yeah, there is a survey that people don't believe in the elections. And what does that mean? It means that the supposed trust that you're supposed to have in that process has been so far eroded enough that you are just carrying out a kind of like a routine or a ritual for years now, producing the worst of the worst kind of people to man or hold public office in any part of the world every 4 years. It's a ritual. That's not democracy. That's a pseudo-democracy. Democracy where thugs can tell you that you won't vote, and you won't. A democracy where the people's wish or will never really prevails, where the National Assembly twisted the entire country by forging an electoral law, a very crucial part of your election, forged in such a way that if you read it very well, you won't participate in that charade at all, not to talk of paying 50 million naira for interest forms. But no, we don't know who is writing the script. You don't have democracy. A democracy where everything to use the judiciary to completely decimate or weaken the opposition, enough that there will likely be no real contender with a Koolu. That is not democracy, but it is Nigeria brand of a democracy. ADC didn't have any real court case. Somebody just kind of like pointed that out. They didn't have any real court case until December 2025. And it was simply because, a guy was coming, and that was a Peter Obi. And mind you, there was no real too much momentum surrounding ADC until December 2025 as well. You can go fact check that. The moment he's landed in that their ADC, suddenly the entire judiciary is on them. So now they are waiting for the Supreme Court to rule. Who is the authentic ADC? Who is the authentic PDP? So Supreme Court said they are holding their judgment. Like, you are supposed to tell them now. You're like, no, we won't tell you now. We'll tell you, we'll give you a date when we're going to tell you. So they gave them 5th of May. Today, another court in Abuja, a federal high court, gave a judgment that they shouldn't recognize the state congresses conducted by this ADC. That is also in Supreme Court. And of course, this guy declared himself the chairman. Like I said, he also sounds a little bit confused. But listen.
The chairman of the chairmen of ADC, African Democratic Congress.
For the state chairman or which one now?
For the state chairman.
Okay, you are representing which?
I'm representing of all the chairmen of ADC, both in Nigeria and diaspora. Okay. The case came just because we told them that the way they instituted the case is not, the way they instituted the Congress is not in order. There is a constitution of ADC, and that constitution, they did not follow the constitution before they start the Congress. And we had tried to advise them to stop it. Personally, I went to David Mark, talked to him, I talked to the other leaders. This is not how we're supposed to do it. But they continue, they go ahead. Even in their kangaroo, according to the way court pronounce it, of their confession, have been null and void. So I told them that now they ask us to go back. We chairmen, we are the one that have right to do Congress. The Congresses from the state is duty of chairmen. So after that chairman, then we are the one now to do it now, according to the court pronouncement this morning.
So you mean what David Mark and Bala are fighting is baseless?
It's baseless. Two of them are not, they are illegal. Two of them are illegal. Because David Mark was an acting chairman. He have not been a substantial chairman. They have not confirmed him. No convention have yet confirmed him. Also, Bala also himself have resigned from this political party. I don't know why he's coming back again, because he sees the trend of things. We, the chairman, are the substances considered of the ADC now, according to the pronouncements of the court this very morning.
But you are aware of the Supreme Court judgment that is pending and probably will be read anytime.
That one is, they are arguing between themselves.
All right, sir. Tell us what went down in court.
Well, today the matter between some state executive of ADC against the interim caretaker committee of ADC came up this morning for judgment. Indeed, judgment was given in favor of the state executives of ADC, preserving their tenure. The court held, affirmatively that their tenure has not come to an end, and their tenure will continue in line with the constitution of the party and also the mediation report, final mediation report of the parties, ADR. So as it stands, all the state chairman, all the state executive, both the state working committee and state executive committee of ADC, their tenure is intact, and it will expire when a valid national convention of the party has been conducted. Thank you. That is what went on today in court.
Okay, so we'd like you to clarify, are you for the Napu
Bala or the this judgment, what it actually did was that the so-called Congress they conducted last month, has been nullified, and the convention has been nullified by the court because they did it in violation of the constitution of the party, and that's why the court said that convention cannot hold. So what it means is that the tenure of the state executive committee, the tenure of the state working committee of the party is still intact. So whatever they did, the charade they did last month, God just described it as kangaroo, you know. So it's yes, it's an effort in futility. And so they are not for Bala and they are not for David Mark. They are for the interest of the party, which the court has just upheld today. My name is IG Ogugwa.
I wanted to ask that how did they not see it when, according to them, they have been working on this their coalition for nearly 3 years? Yeah, they said they have been working on coalition and what platform the coalition should be on for nearly 3 years. So how did they miss it that in 2022, their supposed former chairman, Nwosu, was taken to court, okay? And then the court ruled that he is not the chairman anymore. Of course, they were still in court. He said he appealed that judgment. Between 2022 and 2024, they still haven't received or gotten any judgments on that, still pending. Then ADC met with the coalitionists, David Mark, Aregbe, Ativku, and the rest of them. And they all agreed that, okay, yeah, we're just going to go with this one. Because Nwosu made a deal with them by resigning, and other executive of the party, who ordinarily were not even executives anymore, according to court. But because they are waiting for the appeal court judgment, so they kind of stayed back, they stayed on. So they didn't want to stay on anymore, so they resigned and handed over to David Mark Group to use the party for coalition. Now they have different court cases that is now going to make that impossible. I don't know if you know that right now, according to INEC, right, ADC has no leadership. And what that means, technically or legally, it simply means that you can't run on the platform for any office. You can't. Some said, why didn't they just go and register their own political party? Their answer was that INEC rejected their plan to register their own political party. I don't know if there is evidence of that. Everyone is now trying to see if Supreme Court is going to possibly give a judgment. And mind you, the judgment they are expecting the Supreme Court to deliver is between David Mark and Balana Few. There is David Mark versus this other guy. So there are others. David Mark, something versus David Mark. That are the preliminary, what they call on stage. Some of them are currently at the High Court. Some are the Federal High Court, State High Court. All of these are expected, the court is expected to deliver judgment on all of them, and they could go either way. So are these guys actually really planning to get rid of the Koolu, or they just want to kind of look up, make believe kind of a thing for you? They are alive when Ababioli and his gang fiddled with the Electoral Act, and they got their way. And this opposition could only talk on TV, on social media, and the blah, blah, blah. They are actually not really grounded to change anything. So some people call it a controlled opposition. That's not how Canary Dino, the domestic Canary Dino, sees it. Watch this.
Fellow countrymen and women, my name is Senator Dino Melaye. I salute you once again in the course of our nation's history. Today, I will be elucidating on the state of our nation. We live in perilous times. We live in times of vicissitude and vacillation. We live in times of opprobrium and obloquy. we are actually living in Egypt. But by the grace of God, we are heading towards Canaan. Today I want to speak to the insecurity issues in our country, and it is a pitiable situation. Tinubu's administration is structurally, methodologically, and economically impotent. Tinubu is the architect of empty promises. Tinubu superintended and supervised daily killings of Nigerians without abatement. Brigadier General Musa Uba killed like a chicken. Nothing happened since September 2025. 5 months later, sometime in April, 5 months after the killing of Brigadier General Musa Uba, Brigadier General Hussein Ibrahima was killed, and Tinubu is so comfortable. Two brigade commanders were killed within 5 months in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Nigerian military under APC have lost the monopoly of the legitimate use of force. Disaster is the only harvest you will reap when you have an incompetent leadership like that of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. The military that cannot protect its general cannot protect you and I. Constitution that Tinubu swore to is very, very clear that the primary occupation of government shall be the security and welfare of the people. Today, there is no welfare, not to talk of security. Tinubu has failed woefully in this respect. My advice to Tinubu is to resign. He is wearing an oversized shoe. So, Mr. Tinubu, resign. My beloved Nigeria is now a beggar of security. Is now a beggar of security. Begging America, begging Turkey for security. It is a big shame. Country that fought in Angola, fought in Somalia, fought in Sudan, fought in Liberia, and in other Western countries, today is begging for security. We as a country now, we are outsourcing the protection of the country and our people.
All classes, you know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning. Okay. So, like Canary Dino and others, they are still like expecting other people to decide their fate. They're hoping that the judiciary is going to probably look at them suddenly, just, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what, guys? Okay, you can do whatever you want to do now. Don't worry. You're free to go ahead and do that now. So they had this conversation at the K-ICASET club in Abuja. This is like a private club where young people, even old people, kind of like congregate to discuss any current issues, politics, economy, business, you know, that stuff, right? And most of the time, it's always been about the leadership of the country. So we're having this conversation, which is similar to what I just said earlier about the opposition that talks a lot and somehow just never really bites. Or some are saying, hey, are we being fair, by the way, like among other factors, which you get now, like, are we being fair to them? Like, if we all agree that there is a way that Tinubu and his gang always have hand in all of this, so are we being fair to these guys called opposition by blaming them that they have just not been so grounded? They don't have any action. But this guy put it better. I love this conversation. Listen.
Is Aregbesola not in APC?
They are giving the APC a very clear victory. Thank you.
Okay, permit me to say something. I'm noticing something. I don't know whether it's just me. We're having new people that come in, and all of them are anti-ADC. I don't know why. I don't know, is there any community that is pushing these people to come to meet us?
The fact that we keep going back to criticize an opposition that is working under a very heavy-handed government suppression and intervention and all of that, right? You have to give them kudos to the fact that they're doing their best.
Now, if the ADC had a good plan, the coalition in general had a good plan, by now you would have known who is their presidential candidate. Because you say we have suffered enough. And Nigerians, we have this mindset. Suffering does not ever affect us so much. If we were suffering enough, like we claim we are suffering, by now it should not be hard to find. At the end of the day, it's coming back to the likes of the articles and all that. And maybe that will not be the best choice. But it's always self-centeredness. And when you are self-centered, you can't have a good. That's why I said Tinubu is winning them 90%.
So what is self-centered?
The coalition.
Okay.
If you look at the trend, how they've been moving, there's no clarity on anything. By now, if you feel you are suffering, everybody is just suffering, you should have a clear candidate. This is who you want to work with. Today you see Atiku and Makinde, tomorrow you see Atiku and Peter Obi, tomorrow you see Atiku and Kunkoso. At this close period, the election is just 3 months from now. So they are not serious. That's what I want to say. The obedient, the ADC, the country, they are not serious. Okay. They are giving the APC a very clear victory. Thank you.
Okay, it's just an observation, right? You said you're a strategist, but I didn't see any of there was no point. So I don't know. Okay, permit me to say something. I'm noticing something. I don't know whether it's just me. We're having new people that come in, and all of them are anti-ADC. I don't know why. I don't know, is there any community that is pushing these people to come to meet us? And it's true. So I don't like it when you said the system has failed. No, I didn't say that. No, okay, no, not now. Your first statement, the health system, where you are saying you cannot wait for the government. I mean, there's a lapse in the government. You've admitted. So
they are giving the ADC.
Anyway, it's practically like, are you not tired? Why should people even be bold enough to speak for this government? It is called democracy, brother. I mean, have you asked yourself that before? Like, say, what these things that you are writing on social media to defending Tinubu? If they burn you well, come and say it in the open. Go to Kiniko market and sell these things and see if you are going to go home alive. They're going to go home alive. That is democracy, right? Because you see, one thing about democracy is that it is one 40 kind of a system. Or somehow over the years, they've given this impression that, people could choose their leaders, in the free and fair elections and the rest of that. You go out there and then vote for your own candidate and all that. No, the problem is that in a democracy, right? That's why they say you have to be very, very careful. No, don't be careful. You have to be very afraid of a foolish people in large numbers. You understand? Because in a democracy, the vote of an illiterate carries the same value, the same weight as the vote of a professor. The vote of a scientist does not carry more value than that of the vote of an Agberu. You, this most educated fellow, your vote, that one vote of yours, doesn't carry any more value than the vote of that woman that is selling us for 100 naira, 200 naira. And in fact, yes, that 1,000 naira they gave to that woman to vote for them without actually questioning them is enough to cancel your own. That took you time and research before you made that decision. Say, I need to check out the candidates. I can't just waste my votes. Okay, this one is going to be for, child care, healthcare, work leave, other stuff. And you pick that decision that took you time to make. It's the same decision somebody is going to get 1,000 naira and make us just like that. And yeah, it will cancel yours. So that's why they say you have to be very, very, very afraid of foolish people in large numbers, because in a democracy, they can elect the president. This was a motion, by the way, today.
Tinubu, Nigeria, Tinubu, Nigeria. Tukas over here, the Olowo. Tukas Gongo. Tukas to the world. Tukas to the world. How about you, Corper? Tukas to the world. Tukas to the world. Tukas to the world. APC. Ojo Olowo. Tukas over. Ojo Egbe Gongo.
Yeah, that's the democracy. Some said that the electorate are to be enlightened, educated, so that when they are making, they will understand the importance of that decision, of that vote. But you can't educate hungry people. It is impossible. I'm saying this, it is impossible. You can't. I mean, you can educate them, but they will never put it to use in the face of hunger. Yeah, it is ridiculous, okay? Like, sometimes a lot of us are in this position of privilege that we do not even understand what it is like, okay? So, to be at the bottom barrel of the food chain in a country like Nigeria. Some of you don't even know or remember anymore. I mean, I still remember what it is like. But yes, I've got little privilege today that feeding myself is not one of my problems anymore. But that is from the position of privilege. That's not something that 140 million Nigerians can say conveniently. Think about that. 140 million Nigerians living below poverty line. Seriously. So you can understand the position of privilege you are when you look at some people and say, hey, you're going to sell your vote for, hey, they will give them a cup of rice. They will give them this, or that. It is ridiculous. It is shameful. You understand? No doubt. And that's why they say there is no pride in poverty. I am poor and proud. You're stupid, man. You know, you can't. Because, you see, poverty demeans you. It kind of like it diminishes you. It ridicules you. It kind of shrinks you. It makes you invincible. People don't see you. That's what it does. Now, imagine 140 million people existing in a country that is so mismanaged, so terrorized, that they are so scared that 140 million people are learning to cope. That you couldn't even see a million of them say, we are done. This is it. I'm done. No. Which kind of life it is? I'm done. Today, this country must change. 1 million of these 140 million people, the country will feel it. That's what poverty does to you. It scares you. It makes you this scary rat. You're afraid. You know what I mean? You go to a party, you are invited to a place where, oh, there is food. There is this mentality of lack, want, that want to make you take more than what you can actually eat, that portion you need, because that poverty mind tells you, you may never see this opportunity again. Now, they are breeding 140 million Nigerians, young, old, you know what I mean? Like, continuously, and there is no chaos, other than people attacking and killing themselves, robbing themselves like dog eats dog. Democracy. It's mental, right? Yeah, it is. I don't know if some of you actually understand what it is like, or remember what it is like. I mean, you are watching Mayegun right now. That means you can afford to buy it. If you're watching me from Nigeria, you could sit down there and watch me for like an hour, 2 hours. That is a position of privilege. You can easily look at others and be like, well, these Nigerians, they don't want to be helped. I get it. But you also need to understand what they have done and how many people they have managed to destroy mentally, psychologically, that they are like the reflection of these criminals, in my own opinion. But some of them have become so used to this criminal system that somehow they feel like they can only survive through it. Changing it or ending it is, to some, going to be like, like fish out of water. It is better for this rotten system to remain like this because generations have been groomed and breeded to actually survive through it. So telling them that they could have it better. What is better? Like you can have 24 hours electricity. What does that feel like? There is no generation in Nigeria that experienced 24 hours electricity. Like, what do you mean by that? So when you have over 100 million people that could only imagine what you are talking about, oh, you need to have a very motorable road. You should be able to have a very walking public or a hospital. You know what I mean? Like standard this and that. The children are not, you shouldn't be having over 20 million out of school children. That's not normal. They'd be like, okay, but we've always had out of school children. Say, well, that's not good. You shouldn't be having out of school children. It should be a crime for a child that's supposed to be in school and it's not in school. It should be a crime. Say, okay, well, we've always had them anyway. We've always had that Nigeri. Our Nigeri is our culture. What do you mean it's your culture? Like, what are you talking about? That can be a culture that breeds people that they can never really be useful to themselves, talk less of being useful to the society. How can that be a culture? So now you are talking down on our culture. Say, that's crazy. That's where government comes in. So when you tell people about 24 hours electricity, you're supposed to, they don't understand what you're talking about. They don't. Rich people, educated people, some of them well-traveled, they will be the ones to give you reasons why it can never work in Nigeria. Because millions have been raised and, kind of like socially conditioned decades, generations, to survive through this dysfunctional system. They can conduct elections. They can keep the people safe. They can't run the country normally. It is the poverty capital of the world for a reason. The failure of those who always wanted to lead, they always want to be in charge. So there is this culture, or should I call it a culture of reinforcing failure. They have been doing it. So tell them that they can have it better. It is like, what are you talking about? Anyway, in River State, right, some youth actually took to the streets calling for the sack of the INEC chairman because this sabotaging the opposition from there, preventing them from actually preparing for the 2027 age, it should be considered as national crime, like national treason. So they want INEC chairman sacked. This is a misplaced priority. INEC chairman this, INEC chairman that. You are not actually, it's like you are just scratching the surface. INEC chairman will do everything. They put in that fake electoral act. There's almost nothing you can do. Yeah? Let's go to Rivers State. This was from Rivers this afternoon.
and they control you.
Thomas Go. They actually gave a speech. Is that a speech or it was, yeah, somebody delivered a speech, supposedly the letter, you know, to the person attending to them, you know, after that protest. They would actually protested to the INEC office in Port Harcourt. So maybe we should listen to their message. And a quick reminder, a very quick one. If you haven't liked the broadcast, maybe you should now. It does help. I know we are almost being wiped off right now by YouTube, or we are only down, we are not out. So like the broadcast if you haven't. It does help. Now let's go back to Vegas.
Dear sir, demand for immediate resignation of the ADC leadership under Senator David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola, and the defense of democratic order in Nigeria. We write with urgency and unwavering resolve further to our on Monday, 6 April 2026, wherein the youth wing of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, issued 72 hours ultimatum of commission under the leadership. The ultimatum has expired without compliances. Your failure to act has not only aggravated public concern, but has reinforced the participation of institutional bias, constitutional overreach, and deliberate undermining of democratic norms by the Commission. For the advances of doubt, the following facts remain incontrovertible. On July 26, 2026, the ADC, July 29, 2025, the ADC held a lawful NEC meeting under the full supervision of INEC. The meeting validly dissolved the Provisional National Working Committee, NWC, and produced a new leadership led by David Mark. With the involvement of Rauf Aregbesola as National Secretary of the party, INEC duly received, verified, uploaded, and recognized this leadership on September 9, 2025. There was no dispute, no objection, and no ambiguity at the time of recognition. Subsequently, individuals who had relinquished their position resurfaced to challenge a lawful process.
Some of you don't understand, right? It is not just Bala Muhammad. I'm sorry, I said Bala Muhammad. Bala Nafiu. You see this judgment they got today, yeah? What that means, I'm not probably in a position to interpret it for them, but I can tell you what it means as your geo. And you can go cross-check that, okay? You can go and cross-check that, okay? So what that simply means is that you see these guys who claim to be the state chairman of ADC, okay? State chairman of ADC. Last week or last 2 weeks, there was these state congresses conducted all over Nigeria. So these ones went to court because their own tenure is going to end on the 13th of May. So they went to court. Right now with this court judgment, the Supreme Court is here to do its own ruling, which is on another case. So David Mark and others would have to come and appeal this current judgment because it's actually a judgment. It's not an injunction, okay? So what that simply means then is that with this judgment that says David Mark executive is not in charge of ADC and they must never parade themselves as a chairman or secretary or whatever of ADC. And they have 21 days to lift that. You get that? Like they have 21 days to actually appeal it and possibly get a relief. That would then, now if they should, that 21 days as well, by the way, simply means that, oh, hang on, I've mixed it up. Now, there's another 21 days. That 21 days is that since these ones went to court and say the state congress is conducted last 2 weeks or thereabout by this David Mark ADC, is now null and void. So, and they are the ones to conduct it. There too, they are supposed to also notify the INEC and say, oh, listen, we are going to, because court says we should go and conduct state congresses because we are the ones that must conduct it. They themselves have their own tenure. Their tenure is going to end on the 13th of May. So that simply means the 21 days notice of conducting these congresses means they won't be the one to conduct it. And there will be nobody to conduct ADC congresses. So as they stand this moment, you can actually say that the ADC or this ADC thing is gone. But maybe not out or something, I don't know. Because right now, with all this legal, this and that, it is gone. I can say it is gone. But yeah, they may drag it on. Because they also have to run against their electoral act timing, which means then they have to conduct this convention and they have to conduct this congress and choose their candidate and all of that stuff. They still haven't had a chance of doing that right now. And all political parties are supposed to submit the names of their candidates, I think, by June. No, this is not going to work. Or maybe not. Because as for this Peter Obi and others, they are still making consultations, even though others are telling them to go to another party now. I'm like, if they go to another party tomorrow, by Friday, there's going to be a court judgment. A faction is going to spring up. And that's not right. That's not normal. It's not. Right. So Obi doing consultation, it was seen with Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, I think in Otuoke or maybe in Abuja, not sure. And later, it was also seen with Makinde in Ibadan. And that same day, it was also seen with Olubadan, and that is Ladoja, also in Ibadan. I think I put all the clips together here. Obi. Go on.
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
So, these are all the people that have operated, rule from this place. From the last Governor General, Sergeant Rankin. So, all the way to the ministry and then up to Ajimabi. And what I always say is
if you take the civilians in there, action group, and then you have UPN, you have MPN, you have AD, you have PDP, AC, ACN, and then APC before me. So, I mean, players will come and go. Yeah. Parties will come and go. But our state remains. I was not expecting a Bible presentation. I thought that my friend is in town. I thought you were in Ibadan. And then I thought you
Yeah, consultation, I think that's what they call it. With what electoral acts? Should to this INEC or asked the INEC the same question. Like, why is everybody here pretending that there's going to be an election? Oh, the vintage show, right?
Thank you very much. I want to say very briefly that the Electoral Act of 2026 is like the national anthem of 2023. Everybody knows about the national anthem, but they don't know the lyrics. And it was designed for the purpose of creating confusion. And you will notice that in Nigeria, whenever you find an electoral act designed by the ruling party, it's meant to correct a problem that they couldn't overcome last time. The problem this time is that the presidential candidate of the APC doesn't have a qualification. And the electoral act was designed, I'm talking about Tinubu now. The electoral act was designed to cure that flaw because there's no way they can find the certificate. There's no way they can find his qualification. And as a result, I have a problem with political parties. You have a problem in your hands about the electoral act. You carry yourself to a banquet in the Assholerock villa. To go appeal to the guy who designed the electoral law in the first place. What do you want him to do? To help him defeat the electoral law that was designed to help him continue his illegality in office. If the electoral law says somebody must qualify before they become president, there's no way Tinubu will be qualified to contest the next election. So why are you here deceiving yourself? The second aspect is that these booby traps in the electoral act were done to give lawyers and our courts the opportunity to prolong our suffering. This is an electoral law for lawyers and the courts. For serious democracy, you already know they are capitals of your lawyers. You already know that a lot of provisions of the Electoral Act violate the Nigerian Constitution. And wherever the Constitution provisions are violated, the Constitution is superior to an Electoral Act. Why are we arguing here? Why should we go to the court to interpret for us a Constitution that all of you have in your houses? And you know that the judges will keep dragging us until the candidate of their choice is brought back as president again, whether it's qualified or not. That is what I want to submit. Professor Mayaki, I thank you very much for your submission here today. The country was designed so that people who know nothing govern the country. And you have seen it. I get insulted every day that I should go to the local government. And the question, I think I go to the local government, who is going to be president of your country? Why should the country have decent people, intellectuals, people who are able to run the country, all of you here? But the irony is that the people who are going to run the country are in the next room collecting forms. The people who are collecting forms are not even the people contesting. We saw them on our way here. But the decent people in this room, none of you are going to collect forms. Yeah, except I'm with you. And I'm never going to settle for less. I'm going for the presidency of the country so that this country can achieve progress, peace, and prosperity. Thank you very much.
Sure. You know, he's still going to participate, even though he knows that the election is already rigged. before the first ballot is casted, I say, right? Peter Obi, the man that the young people continue to advocate for as somebody who they trust can indeed maybe make a difference than what they have been offered in the last decade. He was saying, like, yeah, it was again saying with his fans, there's something after this.
My president! My president! My president! My president! Peter Obi is here everywhere. One. Papa.
You see that Rodoku with that Tinubu's cap went on again to make this clip after people were wondering, like, oh, come on, why is the Rodoku like they're calling it Obi is president? Well, is that normal, right? Anyway, went on to say this.
I love Peter Obi, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him politically. Again, since when he mingled himself with ADC people, I don't trust him again. So guys, that is my decision. I was blind before, but now my eye don't open. So guys, Obi is a nice man, but I cannot take him as a presidential candidate, somebody that is ready to lead the country. I told him this to his face.
I'm move past you. You know I'm move reach me, guy. I swear to God, that talk I'm move past you. I'm move past you, gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God, I'm move past you. You just see how they move before. Me, gege. I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know.
And that's just a side attraction. Something happened in Abuja 2 days ago, and it's really heartbreaking. Okay, there's a young man, a youth corper. His name is Abdusamad, Abdusamad Jamil, a young corper who got killed by the supposed presidential guard. You know, you have Nigerian army, right? Then they also have this one they call the presidential guard. Those ones are primarily soldiers assigned to provide security for the president. And I think maybe all of these other VIP guys in the presidential villa, but specifically the president, they don't come outside unless the president is around there, I believe, or he's coming to that area. So it was reported that the reason why these soldiers went into this estate, this community, was because they received an SOS call that some armed robbers were operating in the area and they have hurt people. So they came in response to that. However, that is not what happened. It is so strange and it is so sad because these soldiers had to scale the fence. They jumped the fence, destroyed the security barbed wire on the fence, gained access into the building, and they were shooting until they actually chased this young man into his room, who in fear ran into his room, shut the door, and they executed him. Something similar happened in Warri, Efurum, in Warri, Delta State, also yesterday. It's crazy, right? 2 young men slaughtered by those given guns to protect them from criminals in the most brutal extrajudicial killing kind of a way. Here is the report. This one is actually a long watch. family, the friends, and indeed the scene of the execution. Like I promise you, it is not graphic. So we've taken out all the graphic clip from it. Follow the story.
See where them follow, back of their fence. You see where them follow? Back of their fence, so soldiers, so imagine. Ha!
Those guys are just in possession.
Yeah, that's what I'm like impersonation now. That's like assassination now.
Yes.
What is small boy do you when you reach me you carry gun come? Like what is small boy do?
They just wear those uniforms.
They wear uniforms, yes.
So that vigilante for the area no go talk.
No go
where una
wait
dey go. May God
if
no let
to
us.
see person go sabi waiting the sub from him phone. God, wait make I call one of our guys. They can't enter like this though. You see him, can't shoot him. See bullet, see blood for up. See blood. See bullets where they shoot. They talk say, oh, yes, we came for you. Blah blah blah. Bro. See blood, see cash blood for your room. Now for year 9 cash die, for ground die. See blood everywhere.
Look at the door. I think the bullet passed through this place. This is the second bullet. Look at the blood. This was the one that passed through that door and entered his head. Then blood everywhere. We even clean some. Blood. Look at blood all over his room. There's blood. He was laying here lifeless, and his brain was here. His body was here. Part of his brain was at this place. If you look at it very well, you see bullets inside. Can you see it? There's a bullet. Look at part of his head, like the injury. Look at bullets. Look at bullets. Iron.
I traveled on Thursday, hoping to come back on Saturday to meet my son at home. Only for me to receive a call from my next neighbor around 2:30. Immediately I picked. I said hello. She said, "What is up? There's no problem." I said, "I'm not around. What happened?" She said, "No, she's hearing gunshots." I said, "Huh? Gunshots?" Fear gripped me. I quickly called my first son. Then the number switched off. I went to ease myself first. When I came back, I called my daughter. They busy the call. I said, "What is happening?" Started shivering. I heard my husband. I called my husband immediately that too, because we traveled together, but we did not sleep in the same place. They just called me that there is robbers in my area. He said no, he's coming. He came. He said we should start going to village. 3 a.m. He started coming. Initially, he didn't want to tell me the actual truth. He said they kidnapped soldier carried Absamad. I said, "Soldier, Absamad? Wow. For what?" He said, "No, they want to go and interrogate him." I said, "Interrogate him for what?" Before you knew it, because I was crying that time, before you knew it, I didn't even know who collected my phone. Okay, for me to make call across again, I can't find my phone. I said, "Oh, you should give me my phone. Where is my phone?" They said they can't find it. This way. When I was crying, I misplaced it. I said, no. They refused to give me my phone. That was when I knew that my son is not alive again. But they kept telling me that. So I now asked my husband to call my daughter for me. Each time I call her, she would tell me that, "Mommy, calm down. Mommy, calm down." I said, "Farida, tell me the truth. What happened?" He said, "Nothing. You know you have BP. Calm down." I said, "Okay." On getting to Abuja, only for me to discover that my son was dead. Who killed my son? Did he go out? They said no. Who killed my son? They said soldier came, jumped through the fence, took my exit, he opened my exit door from backyard, went straight to his room, and was dragging the dog, knocking the door. Who is there? Maybe he woke up, I don't know. He woke up from sleep and was trying to hold the dog. They shot him through the door. They shot the door 2 times. According to what I saw. So they said after doing that, the soldiers called the vigilante around this area to come and mop the blood. They entered my kitchen, took clean, almost clean from there, took bucket and gave the vigilante to mop the blood. I said, what happened? Why would they do that? What happened? This has been my question. Who did he offend? My son. They did meet him in the compound. They did meet him in the parlor. They went to meet him inside this room. Who did he offend? I want to know. Who did he offend?
Were you around within the area on the day the incident happened?
Yes, I slept home. We had spent the previous Friday night with Samad, may so rest in peace. You know, just like all of us know him, we hang out. He co-manage a game hub called Lucky Game Hub. So he plays all manner of game. He plays snooker, he played tennis. He was a very bright man. He played chess, he played PS, he plays all kinds of games. So he co-managed the hub with the owner. So as usual, we had round off. I think his last game was a tennis game with one opponent, one man. We were all more like family, all of us that hang out at the game hall. So, and then he left around to 10, bidding all of us good night, and then we left it. So everybody went to bed, hoping to meet the next day. So until when I woke up to the calls, early hours of Saturday morning, that he has been shot inside his room, and we were all devastated. I mean, how? How do you get shot inside your room? You know, so many questions until I arrived at the crime scene. And then we started seeing what had happened. That some officers of Nigerian army invaded his compound, they escaped through the fence, jumped inside the fence, and then made their way into the house, and they shot him right in his room for no just cause.
So has there been any incident like that in this area before?
This is the first of its kind. But these particular army officers, there have been several incidents.
Is it the suspected or alleged?
The alleged officers, it's the same. It's been same officers, and they've been involved in several cases of harassment of the residents of this area in the past three weeks, about 1 month ago. So there are several cases, a lot that the victims are around, so much so that the victims are not far-fetched. You know, and there have been several incidents of harassment, like I said, beating people up, imposing 10 p.m. curfew, unofficial. You know, you can't even come out, you can't even open your store, you can't come outside the street once it's 10 p.m. In fact, you can't even come back from work once it's 10 p.m. Coming down from a taxi, you might just start getting beaten up by the same officers. And we've been complaining, we've been noting, you know, this unhealthy behavior and violent behavior of these state officers, trying to prevent a catastrophe like this. And sadly, in the end, the catastrophe struck.
In the end, Abdul was killed in his own room in Abuja by the supposed military officers. So no arrest has been made, Not yet. We haven't heard that. In Delta State, a young man, right, was arrested. And according to the reports, he was arrested because he went to go and pick up a parcel somewhere. And it was discovered that this parcel he came to pick for someone contained guns, weapons, and other stuff. And he said he didn't know anything about it. He was called to go and pick this thing up. And the person who sent him to go and pick this stuff up, he could actually really take them to the person. You've arrested, he's been restrained. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've already handcuffed him. I'll show you. This was in Efurum in Delta State. So the young man there, handcuffed for picking up a legal package, was to be taken to the police station, I think. Unfortunately, this guy, who is the police officer, according to them, he was once a member of the murderous SARS, which triggered the NSAS protest in 2020, remember? Anyway, he pulled out his gun in front of the same camera covering this incident while this young man was on the floor, on the ground, right? And he just got this gun and fired him. He shot him. Execution style. And that has now triggered a bigger kind of like a protest in Warri, that the police started actually shooting at these protesters. And the police IG has also reacted to it. This also happened again in Delta now today.
See police the trust on That is the boy. That is the boy. That is the boy. We will play so well. When I calm down, I'm gonna calm down. When I talk this matter. What is the boy that carries that? Why don't you carry this investigation? We don't get done. Wait, my video, wait. Turn our face side. They shoot us. They shoot us because we fight for justice for our brother when they kill. Policemen shoot our brother. They pursue us. They throw tear gas. Justice for us. When I jump in, I go. Jump your gun when you come. When I get power over. When I get power over, when I come. No, as all these things, we have our justice. No, not trust on our anybody in the world, they go down. This fight, this fight, everybody fights. Everybody fights. Anything more they do like this, about don't do there. We come from Asaba. We leave our business for some mental transport. Come on, come our hand. No, we wanna make us come. No, we get the gun of us for come here. Go keep my brother. Man, I can't. Yeah, What? Oh? They shoot you. The police they throw bottle. They shoot you. This is what I will learn you to know. You're not fit. You're not fit. You're not fit. You're not fit. I'm not shooting at fire. I'm trying to get what you mean by I'm not doing anything. That is smart. We brought outside the pepper. We brought outside the pepper. You better
And same thing, well, not as violent. Okay. Something like that happened in Kano when surprisingly some group of young people invaded a central market in Kano, and they started destroying anything that has to do with anything that has a APC mark or signal or anything on it at all. So this was in Kano.
Gashina, I will not Gashina, I will not sun ci uwar ma'aikatan ma dan bura uba ba kayan su kai ido na yaji dan bura uba ba mutum kai ido na yaji ba wani abin da za a shiga mana shi ma
gashi nan wannan ɗan ADC ne na jihar Kano gashi nan suna fitowa suna ta rigima a gari ka gani ga rigimar nan ADC ne jihar Kano gashi nan muna ganin su kun su nan jama'a mutanen ADC ne a ran Tinubu gashi nan suna fitowa suna kashe jama'a gashi nan jama'a gashi nan ana rigima jama'a gashi nan ana rigima mutanen ADC ne gashi nan suna rigima kun gan su sun kore su Kai wani ya bada so wallahi wani ya wadi. Sun kashe wani. Sun kashe wani wallahi. Wallahi sun kashe wani ga ta kasa kwance. Kore suke sun kore su wallahi sun kore su yaran da ojin a rigima ake kai tun dazu wallahi tun dazu yaran da ojin da a rigima ake a ABC kai ga shirin wallahi ya mutu ai ga shirin ana yi ga shirin jama'a mutanen APC ne na jihar Kano ga su mutanen APC ne jihar Kano ga su suna kashe mutane kun ga su ana kashe mutane ana jiba ba a santa jama'a ga su mutanen APC ne esan da ake jiba ga su esan da ake jiba kun ga su
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger. Because some people will be at indoor. There's no way to make our own life.
It's been a while. You know, life is almost so cheap. The way it is treated in Nigeria. And so we say, oh, life is a fickle. Yeah, there is. It's cheaper in Nigeria. And that's why we usually say, yesterday's survivors, they are today's potential victims. All of us that survived today, we are the potential victims of tomorrow. And it's just like turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. It's going to get to your turn, it's going to get to my turn. And until that time, you are expected to please speak up. These young people were taken to Russia on a supposed federal government-sponsored scholarship, I think, or government-sponsored scholarship. Somebody must have spent their scholarship money, by the way. And now they have to eke out a living in Russia, like he put it.
Good day, my fellow Nigerians. I am a fifth-year medical student here in the city of Rostov, Russia. And here with me, I have my colleagues from the medical institution, the engineering institutions, and other universities. We were duly sent here by the Nigerian government under the bilateral educational agreements between Russia and Nigeria. And since then, we've been left stranded by the Nigerian government. We have been forced into abject poverty, thereby sending boys into menial jobs like working in construction sites, sending our girls into forced prostitution and all. We are soliciting with the federal government to please come to our aid. We appeal with the first citizen of Nigeria, His Excellency President Assholerock Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to quickly see to our aid. We were last paid on September 2024. Until date, we haven't received a dime from the government. We are hungry, sincerely hungry. How do you expect scholars with 6 to 7 distinction? We merit this scholarship and we're sent here. We followed due process and we got this scholarship. How do we explain that we are hungry. How do you expect us to focus on studies with empty stomach? This is purely unacceptable. We can't continue to be in shame. We can't continue to portray shame in another man's land. Please, we are begging once again with the people in the right authorities to please come to our aid. We would appreciate if we get swift response to our plea. Thank you very much.
Please help us.
Stop.
Help us. We are a poor nation. The ban code will follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, try shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They're doing.
So I really do pray that the government gets that message and send help out to them. I know some of you are in Nigeria, you're probably always going to like mocking them, because where I got a video from, the reactions of Nigerians, it's not different from what I expected anyway. Some of them are saying, oh, you are even lucky that you are in Russia. Instead of you to find your way and go and hustle. These are students, okay, with these special important kind of like a courses that Nigeria found worthy enough to send on this kind of like educational exchanges, right? Why would you send them to Russia and then abandon them? That's the question you should be asking, not like, oh, you are expecting government to. Well, I get it. I really also do pray that they get the help. You have no idea what it is like to actually be poor in other subaltern countries, right? Or it's really very much like you don't wish it on your worst enemy. You shouldn't. It's just that it is unfortunate that back in Nigeria, even the young people who stayed back are not finding it any way easier or funny. In Edo State, some of them have to take their own like destiny in their hands, right? And they walk straight to the Speaker of the State House of Assembly to table their own displeasure, just like those guys in Russia. These ones are in Edo State complaining about the harassment of the EFCC. EFCC harassing people, young people, scaling fences to harass them in their hostels and all of that stuff. So they want the speaker to do something, not like he's going to do anything anymore. Yeah, in Edo State.
Who is the leader of the group?
We don't have leader, man.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
So
good morning. I want to speak.
Only one person.
I want to speak, please.
Okay. Our Honorable Speaker, today we are concerned citizens of Edo State. We came last week Monday and the Chief of Staff directed us to come back today that you will address us. Thankfully, you are here today, sir.
Thank you very much.
All of us that are here are concerned youth of Edo State. We represent the voice of the cry youth of Edo State. Today, we cannot move around the city. We cannot move peacefully in our home, in our neighborhoods. Our own brothers, EFCC, they are harassing us. Anywhere they see number of youth, they will target them, arrest them without a warrant, without any lawful movement. They will arrest us and take us to their station before they investigate us. There are other issues that are withholding us from our activities in the Edo State. Yes. No lights, no road. Aoshiba pies, even to feed ourselves. I'm hungry since morning. I have not eaten. You can see that, Mr. Speaker. So we are here mainly concerned about the EFCC issues. We need your attention, sir. We need your voice. We need your assurance that
and brutality
of the Benin citizens, Edo State youth, and the Nigerian citizens have to stop, sir, because we are part of this city. We are part of this
community and this country. So, sir, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first of all thank you for not taking laws into your hand.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And also to thank you for recognizing that there's a house here.
Yes, sir.
We are 24 members here. We represent every constituency, that's every local government. And I'm sure you people are from different local governments.
Yes,
you have your representative here. That's why you have come here to report to us what has been happening. Well, it is not a new thing. All I want to say to you that you have to come by way of writing a petition to the House, which we also look at and we'll send it to the accused people. Send it to them, then we invite them. You understand? We invite them. It has been happening. Yeah, it has been happening. That is the truth. And we will not hide it. Truth, we must say the truth. The harassment of our youth these days is just too alarming.
It's too alarming, sir.
Yes. By the police force and by the EFCC. Let us say the truth. You can't just, people can't just sit down, you go and raid them without warrants, you start taxing them to say they must not build themselves. You know, rules must be obeyed.
Yes, sir.
So that note, you have to do a petition for to the House so that we can act on that petition. That's the way to go. We will intervene.
Sir,
we will intervene.
I came out because of fear. I say, excuse you.
Listen to me. You are the very party. Listen, I've told you what you will do. Go back, do a petition, and bring to us on all these things you just enumerated.
Thank you very much.
And bring for us. We'll tackle it and we'll hear.
Thank you.
Bring a petition on the floor of the House. Let the whole Edo people know that people came here to go to the House. They will now report back to Edo people that this is what is happening to them. So that's the procedure to go. Okay. So I thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So they should go and put it in writing. Okay. Meanwhile, Wiki only received a phone call, according to him, that he should, with immediate effects, provide lands for 70 ambassador designates. I mean, those guys that Koolu appointed as ambassadors. Wiki said Koolu called him and ordered him to give them lands in Abuja, including for food Kayode, Reno, Omokirikiri as well.
My name is Chief Femi Fanikayo, Chief Oluwafemi Adeomi Abdulatif Fanikayo.
When I was coming this morning, Mr. President called me and said, look, these ambassadors will be leaving Nigeria, and that he believed that from time to time they will come to Abuja to brief him on what is happening in the country where they serve. And he believes that most of them do not have a place in Abuja. And so he will encourage them to see how they put up where they can stay in Abuja when they come back home. And Mr. President directed that before you leave this morning, each and every one of you should have their form to fill for land allocation in Abuja. So that when you come back, you don't need to be staying in a hotel. You go to your houses and then find time to brief Mr. President. So once more, I congratulate you, I thank you, and believe that God is infinite mercy will lead all of you. Be hopeful. Mr. President means well for the country, and I believe that by 2027, this election will come peacefully, and Nigeria will remain united as a nation. Thank you, and God bless you. I'm sick. So this is the funds that the President said I should give. Well, because we don't know whether as we are coming, they have added one other person, one other appointment, so he made it 75. Okay. You know, so thank you very much.
Mr. President said that he doesn't because I mean, this is actually unreal, okay? When the wicked took people's lands, they are now redistributing the land. Judges have been built mansions because it doesn't make any sense for the Nigerian judges not to have houses. They have to have their own houses. They have to have their own houses in Abuja. So he's currently spending about 55 billion naira to build just about 11 mansions for judges in Nigeria. Now, right now, apart from those he has already reallocated lands to, including his own children, ambassadors, they have their own homes. They don't live in Abuja. If they are coming to Abuja to brief a Koolu, sure you get. It's just going to be for a night or two. I don't understand. Like, they have to have a house. The next thing you're going to get is that with the weekend is going to build houses for them. They are going to call it ambassadors' quarters. Because Tinubu mean well for Nigeria. You were asking this NEPA guy, right? Somewhere in Bayelsa. That, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You guys don't give us electricity for weeks. And whenever you did bring the electricity, it only lasted for just an hour. And then you take it off again. Is that okay? That's not normal. His answer.
People say, oh, you did not give us light. Suddenly you just give us light for 1 hour. After how many weeks and you come and you bring light bill? How does that work?
When light is given to people after a period of maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and eventually an energy is being given to that neighborhood for 1 hour. Within that 1 hour, the people living around that area are going to perform the function they have not done for 1 month. They are going to on their freezers. They are going to on their washing machine. The same time, they are going to on their water pumping machine. They are going to on their oven to microwave everything. And they are going to engage in ironing. The clothes they are going to wear for 1 month because they don't know next time they are going to get the light. So these activities will happen in 1 hour. And the energy that's supposed to consume for 1 week have been consumed in 2 hours. And when a bill comes, people try to fight. Why are you giving me a bill after giving me? The energy consumption is not based on the hour. It's based on the consumption. What did you use?
Based on how you use it.
Based on how you use it.
How long the
no, it's not how long the power stays. The power can stay for 1 week. If you are not at home, nothing happened to your energy. You didn't use it. Your meter will not blink. But it can be at home for 1 hour, and you can use energy that somebody will not use for 1 week. So it's about the usage, and we plead that people should understand this and pay whenever they come to them.
Okay. People say,
nuisance, Lele.
Is that the kind of people in charge of important sectors? Did you hear that explanation? You did not give them electricity for a whole month. Then you gave them the power. And the reason why you have to take it again within an hour was because people are going to own everything. They're going to consume all the power. So which means they're going to make electricity look like they are giving them data. So I gave you 1 gig last week. I mean, you see that moment I gave you this 10 gig. That's the moment you wanted to download the 2 hours video. You wanted to download this app. You wanted to download this data that you're supposed to use for a month. That's what electricity is. And with these guys, because you hope, because you chance, I promise you, there are those who continue to maybe kind of like hope. I have no idea where they're getting that from. Somebody posted this and they said, this is the state of the Assholerock. They don't give a damn about your electricity, I mean, national grid and electricity anymore in that sense. They are sorted.
President will promise you light. Nah, try to be that. I need to do solar, so see how. Don't go do solar. You deceive yourself.
Don't go to solar. They deceive yourself.
And you say if they vote and if you no fix light, they will not vote him again.
So
she want the jail we do, they don't move up.
You see the jet. I don't when I look at shoot them. See how all the jet we did and I see no more generator in villa. I pity you, I don't do solar. Your mind go day. See, when they promise you light, see what they see him.
No light at the end of the tunnel.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful again, a town hall, different from Bulaba. That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
Anyway, just before we ended up having to roast ourselves out of the hour, I'm going to say thank you to every one of you for your time. I decided to onboarding this whole thing. I've had them all in the draft for a while, and I hope you enjoy your evening with me this hour, right? So please like the broadcast. Share it. So if you haven't done any of that, but if you have, don't do it again, okay? Except for sharing it. You can share it as many times as possible, right? So join me another time, and I look forward to seeing you again. So thank you. And it is going to be a good night from here. Udaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa bí. Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àyè Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àyè Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àyè Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àyè Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àyè Súnrákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.